This is a 1530 shorthand game at Party Poker. My ace-jack offsuit in the big blind was just raised, and I'm going to go ahead and re-raise because I figure I have a pretty good hand, it's heads up, and by taking the aggressive roll, if we both miss the flop, I have an increased chance of bluffing it and taking it down, since he gives me credit for having a pretty good hand. Probably at the best hand here, gonna be betting this turn and most likely the river. Very little could come on the board that could possibly not make me bet on the river. Got ace-2 offsuit here in the small blind. What happens with the other players will help me determine whether or not I should see the flop or fold the hand. With that raise, I'm going to go ahead and fold here. Eight-nine offsuit. In a shorthand game, I generally want big cards or at least a pocket pair. 8-9 offsuit just isn't good enough even if I'm on the button. Well, apparently the big blind was bluffing that hand to the river. Fairly good play by Rooster to just call him down. His hand was kind of weak. He could only really beat a bluff. If he raised, the other player probably would have folded. So he might as well just call him down. And you probably had the best hand, but by calling, you encourage people to bluff. 9-7 suited. Just isn't the right type of game to play a suited connector like that. Kind of odd to limp when you're on the button there. Generally, if you're going to enter the pot, you might as well enter with a raise, because this way you have a chance at stealing the blinds. It's an interesting hand. Button seems to really like his hand. He's raising on both the flop and the turn. Nice hand by the small blind. See what he had. Apparently Kocha had pocket sevens. First of all, he should have been raising that hand pre-flop. This way, if someone's going to be calling with 4-6, they're going to be losing a lot of money in the long run. But by letting him have a free flop, he let him hit, and then the guy hit the turn. If I was Rooster, I would have re-raised that turn, because sure, he raised the turn, but what do you think he really has? Maybe ace-3? I highly doubt it. I went ahead and saw this flop here because there's just so much dead money in the pot. I was basically calling $15 into a $70 pot. And another thing about calling in the big blind, if only one other player is in the hand, your equity is actually higher, because that was a $70 pot two ways. So basically, if we each had about even hands, both of us have about $35 worth of pot equity. But let's say the big blind had called his bet, then it would be Then there would be $90 in the pot, but it would be three ways. So if we each had about the same hand, it would be a $30 equity. And generally it's something like 6-8. If I hit a pair, I can actually beat someone if it's just heads up, because he might just have two overcards and he might miss. But if it's three-handed, then two sets of people with two sets of overcards, they're just less likely chance I'm going to win a hand anyways. I'm not sure why he didn't bet the river. He clearly should have bet the river. What did he think he have? King and queen or something? Definitely bet that river. I'm going to fold here, and now's a good time to end this video.